Hey, welcome to Monday Nights. Today on Monday Munch, we'll do it redneck all Monday Munch.
Don't make me break the West Virginia out.
Oh, good
All right.
God, don't do that.
We're gonna have that old Monday Munch.
We'll have moms and cousins everywhere come to the family reunion to see you.
Gonna come from down in the holler.
But this week is all about self-love and relationships. We help cultivate a stronger connection in your relationship.
And this is Mr. Hello.
Hi, I'm Mr. I run this crazy, chaotic shit show. Yeah, that's it today for my intro.
Fun.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Becca.
Hi, Lav.
I am Ray Ray. Always, yes, always, Lab. Fuck, lost my whole damn train of thought. Thanks, Lab.
You know, I can actually see the comments this time around.
It's
Listen,
the different thingy.
Oh.
It's
We
a
were
whole
barely
different
1 minute in. Don't start teasing me now, Lav.
It's been a long evening.
No.
But, fuck, who am I?
You're Ray
Ray
Ray.
Yeah, that's it. Somebody else introduce himself.
Okay, it's my turn. Hi, I'm Mexican from Wish. I am a sex worker and a content creator, and I am the cheapest whore on the internet. And I'm also an asshole. But people say I'm nice, but I'm being sarcastic. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Hi.
Hello. And I'm Alice. I run a nonprofit, like a trans advocacy nonprofit. We help people get to treatment. I'm a shit poster. I have a bachelor's degree in cybersecurity. I don't know why I'm flubbing my intro now too, but I guess it's contagious. Moving on.
I mean, you know what? Good for you.
Working on a master's and it's kicking my ass.
You know what? I believe in you.
Same.
You know what?
You're like-
You've made it this far. You can do it. I have faith in you.
Yeah, it's just so much work all the time.
Oh. Okay, I just saw Miss Jen's comment.
Yep.
Hi, Jen.
She's in the shower right now. She'll be here short. Patient 0. Something for you.
Lav, I don't mean to be rude, but you weren't the first person to simp for me. You can be patient 1.
I don't know. Last stuff's pretty hard though, so that might be a whole new.
So does the other person. It's 7 years of sapphic pining,
Okay.
like that kind of simping.
So yeah, happy Pride Month to all of you. It's the first month of Pride. Or first month.
Woo!
Oh yeah, with the pride stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
I am pansexual and all that crap.
Oh yeah. I am bisexual, but I am actually more attracted to women than I am men.
Valid. I am pansexual. I'm non-binary, specifically agender. I am trans femme, like I AMAB, and I've been on HRT for almost 2 years straight. And pansexual, panromantic. I don't know why I'm so bad at words right now. It's probably because I haven't finished my dinner yet.
I haven't even eaten dinner.
I get mine by the way.
It's adorable though.
My dinner is right here on my desk. It's a small pizza from Papa John's.
Oh,
Hey, yo, Papa John's is slaps.
Mm.
does it well? Does it?
Hi, Buffa.
Realize that she has more sugar.
Damn, she put clothes on.
Right?
We're all getting settled in as always. Is there a fork in there?
If you see me suddenly turn my camera and mic off without saying anything, I'm taking a small pizza break.
Okay.
For example.
I actually like put a face on and crap today. Like I haven't done that for months in a while, but it's because I wanted to do the pretty rainbow colors.
I was supposed to put a face on, but I woke up an hour ago and the only thing I did was let my hair down because it's been in a braid all day. I'm not gonna lie, when I woke up from my nap earlier, I had like dry drool, like half of my face was just fucking covered in saliva. And I didn't have no dreams, so I was like super happy about that.
All right, take us to our introduction and then we'll move on. We'll get started.
Hi everybody, this is Jessica, your favorite distractor. Happy Pride Month from your pansexual, provocative, polyamorous, poodlehead. And I am very grateful for all of your beautiful faces here. Happy Monday lunch. I'm unclear of the topic. I'm a little tired. Oh no, it's self-love, and I decided to self-love myself before the lunch. So rawr. I had a hot shower, is all.
I had a self-love day today too, because I've been busting my ass cleaning all weekend with task lists and stuff. So my self-love today was to make a much shorter task list and only do things like a little bit at a time as I felt like it. And I took a 2-hour oatmeal and hemp oil bath.
Yum.
My form of self-love looks like I hate myself. Junk food, Red Bulls, so.
My form of self-love.
Go ahead.
My form of self-love was washing my hair and taking a 5-hour nap.
And
I hope this isn't the beginning of a 5-hour nap.
I don't think I can describe the activities from my self-love day. They're not safe for YouTube.
What's going to happen? I think it banned.
it was a self-exploratory self-love day.
Not self-exploratory. I spent most of the day down someone's throat.
There you go.
Hey, yo.
Hey, the only thing I'm mad about is it wasn't mine.
Stop being in fucking Florida.
Hey, man. Florida's great.
Not being in Florida.
Florida's not great for trans people.
No, that's not. And Lav, that is a very important self-love thing. I'm proud of you.
I do like this is actually showing some comments like in real time or close enough to real time now.
Come back.
I can figure this out today.
The Mexican from Wish is having technical difficulty. Help!
Her phone's working like your mouth is right now, so just.
So, Lab, going to the psychiatrist, A+, that's good self-love. Essentially, at the end of this month, what we will be talking about is how to make sure that you've made all the improvements that you can and you want to make on yourself, and pointing out the benefits that it will be on others for your relationships.
Absolutely. I'll get us started with a nice quote. It says, self-care is never a selfish act. It is simply good stewardship of the only gift I have, the gift that was put on this earth to offer to others. That's by Parker Palmer.
Well, Parker Palmer also says Lab needs a mop and a bucket.
All right. Well, that's a good self-love day.
So the self-love, to add to what you just said, self-love is not selfish because you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you don't fill your own cup first, you will eventually run out of love to give.
Facts.
Absolutely.
If you don't take care of yourself, it'll fall on your partners to have to take care of you, and that's not a good dynamic to have.
Us single people, you know.
If you don't take care of yourself and you don't have a partner to step in and have that bad dynamic with, it's even worse. Ugh.
Yeah, then you end up drunk calling your friends in the middle of the night. I mean, what? Let's continue.
I've definitely been there. Or like crashing in someone's seedy house when I don't know the person who owns the house because I'm with like 3 people I know. Yeah.
Those are the best houses to crash in.
No.
Like in life, makes life an adventure. You're like, am I gonna wake up? Am I gonna like get out of here? You know.
Am I gonna wake up to find someone actively eating my organs? I don't know.
Exactly. You know, life's a gamble.
I much prefer when I don't have to wonder if I am going to be eviscerated in my sleep.
Fair enough. So, hey Ray, what is self-love?
Self-love, it's a multi-layered thing. It's accepting and enjoying all of the things that make you uniquely you.
What does self-love mean to you, Alice?
Self-love is putting the energy that you need into yourself. So like if you like a lot of the times when I'm having like a depressive episode, I'll make a point to go take a shower, and then I'll just like sit down in the shower and just be in the hot water for a little while. Or on good days, like I'll just work out. Or like if I'm having like a good body image day, I'll go spend time with someone where I can show off that body image with, and like someone I have that connection with. It's being aware of what you need and what you want, and then taking reasonable steps to get both of those.
Absolutely. How about you, Princess? What's self-love mean to you?
I like the 2 layers that we've already unpacked. I will steal all of those words. But putting yourself first, even when you don't, it's not always an easy thing to do.
And nobody panic, Mexican from Wish is not being ravaged and murdered down there.
Don't mind me.
I know social medias tend to freak out about stuff like that. So.
Ralph, wrong app.
Put that out
Save
there.
it for later.
Oh no! See, y'all gonna have to suffer.
So,
Wrong app.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Bitch, where's my dinner?
Oh my god, they muted me.
so
I would like to comment on what Rebecca said really quick, if that's okay.
go for it.
I agree very much with forgiving yourself being a huge part of self-love.
Yes.
Recognizing that you're growing and changing and you're not always going to be right is okay.
You're absolutely correct. I have a bit of a different take, especially with that quote. To me, self-love or self-care is absolutely a selfish thing, but it's a healthy selfish act. You're doing things because you want to do them to make yourself feel better. So by definition, they're selfish, but they're not being toxic or being negative towards anyone else. You're just doing what makes you happy.
I mean, pretty much everything that everyone else has said about self-love is, correct. I don't really have anything else to say. Can you fucking? I swear to God, I'm gonna chop your fucking fingers off and feed them to the dog next door. Anyway, I'm just kidding to all the snowflakes out there.
Oh, my penis!
There's a sound bite.
Anyways, self-love is not murdering people. Okay, that is self-love.
Or doing things for yourself that will prevent you from murdering people.
Yeah, exactly. Self-love is smoking a joint so that, you don't murder people.
Self-love is also when your penis get hit.
Shut up.
I mean, if you're into that, absolutely.
Oh my God, yo, I dream of the day I meet a man that is into that shit.
So if anybody's into CBT, just reach out to Mexican from Wish here.
Currently not me. Currently not me.
Oh, he's into it. He lets me do it all the time.
No, I don't.
In fact, it says self-love is loving yourself the way you want others to love you. Sometimes self-love for me is getting myself an ice cream cone from Burger King. Or taking the nap that I need. That's from Lav.
One thing that I am working very hard on that is very much a self-love thing for me is saying no.
Ooh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It might get into our topic for later about like the improvements, but self-love can also be putting an end to self-destructive habits, like getting out from the bottom of a bottle, for example.
You gotta get under to get over it. So
To get over 1, get under 10. Isn't that the motto?
I am the same, Lav. Like, just one example. The first time I ever spoke up and even just redirected Mr. After the show, I had like a 10-minute fucking panic attack from hell. Like, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Saying no is probably the easiest thing for me to do. But then, like I said before during introductions, I'm an asshole. I'm not afraid to say no to people because, I don't know. But then again, I live for, you know how, at Chick-fil-A, when they say my pleasure?
No, I don't go to Bigot Bird.
Oh my God. I love Chick-fil-A. But anyways, at Chick-fil-A, they say my pleasure. And it's the same fucking thing. It's my pleasure to tell you no.
I can dig it. So,
Why are we calling it Bigot Burger, though? They don't even have chicken.
I said Bigot Bird.
Oh, bird. Bird is the word. That makes 100% sense. Okay, sorry.
So
I get hung up on the tiniest little details.
I've always been a big advocate and kind of a foundational point of what I believe is that self-development, personal development, and self-love are key to any relationship and to building a successful relationship. I've always thought that, there's that old, nobody can love you if you can't love yourself kind of thing.
Oh, that's so bullshit.
Nobody fucks you.
Well, I mean, you got to be able to
There's
accept
no
love,
circumstance where that's a healthy mindset.
But you know me by now. Is anything in my mind healthy?
Mister, this is me correcting you being an asshole again.
So, this is me trying to clarify him. I hope what he means is it's important for you to figure out and know how to advocate these things for yourself that you need and want for your own self-care before entering a relationship and then within relationship.
Jen,
Sure.
I think you're giving him a little too much credit.
Absolutely.
It might be the autistic, but there's no way there's that much subtext under the sentence. No one can love you if you don't love yourself.
Well,
that's a cut and dry.
I get the subtext because we've had these conversations together, like especially in the beginning of how, it's so important to be sure to stay true to oneself within, and the codependency within self-care doesn't really need, it's not very big within our relationship, and it's different for others, but that's how we prefer it.
I wanted to say something about the saying that if you don't love yourself, no one else will love you. I think that's a really toxic saying.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get through to Mister, and then Jen jumped in.
That's a really toxic. Like what I like to tell people when they're going through, whatever. Because like I can give really good relationship advice. It's just that I cannot listen to other people's advice or my own advice for myself because I'm fucking hard-headed. But what I like to tell people is, if you can't love yourself, how do you expect to love somebody else?
Love somebody.
Exactly.
And
I'm not gonna go into song.
Like you have to love yourself. I'm sorry. You have to love yourself even just a tiny smidge bit, whether it's, keeping up with your hygiene or doing your makeup because you fucking felt like it, or buying the new pair of shoes that you keep freaking drooling over, or, going, going for a walk, or whatever it is that you consider self-love in your own mind, body, and soul. That's the little smidge of a bit that is loving yourself. Therefore, you can love another person. Even if you love another person more than you love yourself because you don't think you love yourself, but it's like all the things that are necessities for, I guess, I'm going to say normal people because I suffer with a lot of mental illness and stuff. So, normal people are people who don't suffer with mental illness.
Neurotypical people.
Yeah. Okay. So they, necessities in life are regular hygiene, brushing hair, freaking getting that, 30 nap in or whatever, or being on time. Those things are achievements for someone like me. Those are achievements. And those are considered self-love for me. So even if I don't say I love myself every single day, I'm doing something that says it in another form. Therefore, I feel like if I do something in another form that says I love myself, therefore I can love another person, even if I love that person more than I am doing for myself. If that makes any sense. I don't know if it makes sense to y'all. It makes sense to my brain.
All right, coming in with what might be a hot take here. Your relationship with yourself doesn't preclude you from having a relationship with someone else. You are responsible. Like if you have a shitty relationship with yourself and you take that out on another person, you are responsible for the way you treat them. But you can be in an awful mental health space and not have that ability to love yourself and go, here's a person who loves me, who I care about. So let me have this connection with them and have something that I can build from there.
So like basically if what you're saying is if a person doesn't feel like they love themselves, a form of self-love would be to
accept
connect
of
with that
others.
person.
Exactly.
Okay, I see that.
And then like, I'll be honest, wasn't in a great place when I started the relationship with Lav, and like did not love myself. In fact, was actively trying to put the bottle to my head and pull the trigger.
Right.
And like that, having that good, healthy relationship with someone who, I'll be honest, isn't great at boundaries, but is really good at being like, hey, I don't feel like you're listening to me. Like to have that person who cared about me and would check me gave me a small piece of solid foundation that I could stand on and build the rest around. Like that's absolutely something that you can do, even if you're in an awful mental health space. You just have to remember that you are responsible for the way you treat the other person, regardless of your relationship with yourself.
So how do you feel, whoever, it doesn't matter who wants to answer this one, as a way to kind of cultivate that self-love? There you go. So Rebecca, real quick before we move on to that, says, I'm going to say, you don't have a solid foundation, including loving yourself. You can lose yourself. I'm more open to toxic people and narcissists. I became a puppet because I hated myself.
That is valid.
That's where I'm coming from. You're not impossible, but you're not likely to find a healthy relationship if you just absolutely don't think you deserve anything good and you don't have any kind of love for yourself. You're going to take whatever comes along, and sometimes it's good and it turns out great and you become a better person for it, and sometimes you get wrapped into a decades-long shitty relationship where you're abused because that's what you thought you needed in life and what you deserved because you're a shitty person.
To that same point, even if you have a solid foundation and practice self-love, if you're not good at setting boundaries, then you're still going to lose yourself to a narcissist. That's just what they do.
Oh yeah.
I think boundaries are a huge part of self-love. Be a massive part.
I even have a topic part of it later.
I don't think that boundaries are part of self-love. I think boundaries are part of self-respect, which is a little less emotional and a little more like, all right, I'm basically a houseplant with emotions. Let me go through my needs and make sure they're met.
I don't know. I feel respect and love go hand in hand in a relationship.
We would hope.
They should. Let me put it that way. They should.
And in a relationship with someone else, absolutely. In that relationship with yourself, not always. Though we do want it to.
What am I doing here? This is true. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I am all over the place. I got some of that Florida air in me. Sorry. Burping for a second. So, I don't know. A lot of ways people start with that is the affirmations. Everybody loves affirmations.
I fucking hate affirmations, and I hate so much more that they work.
Hold on.
Exactly. Yep.
There's actually something that I heard of that helped me a lot that is a step in between affirmations. Like when someone first told me to start trying affirmations, I couldn't say a single fucking one of them without feeling like I was lying and like, what the fuck am I saying this stupid shit for? So somebody told me to try affirmations as a baby step along the way. So instead of saying like I'm beautiful or something like that, when I couldn't say it without feeling I started with, what if I was beautiful? What would that look like?
Yes, but
Okay.
you run into a risk that you should be aware of like getting into this I'm not, but what if? Almost like mentally precluding yourself from believing that thing.
That's why it's necessary to mention that it's a step along the way. Like I was working towards being able to believe those things. I needed to take that baby step of what do I need to do to get to where I can believe these? How does that look?
Yeah. Can we just put Lab's comment up on the screen for a second?
Absolutely.
I agree.
That is usually how it works.
I'm a potato, but potatoes aren't bad. Potatoes are delicious.
That fucking part right there. Everyone loves potatoes, no matter what form it's in.
I mean, I like to get baked, I like to smash, and I'm delicious enough for every meal.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Ray, I think Lab might be about to fight you. Oh, no. No, they're affirming their love for potatoes. Never mind.
I'm gonna
But see, but we all do take differently to certain things. You know, I mean, I dealt with like bullying and being picked on about certain things to the point that I eventually stopped caring about those things. Like, you know, when I was a kid, I was told I had big ears, all this stuff. And now it's like, I'll beat you to the punch. I've got funnier jokes than you do. Like, get your shit together. But like, learning to ignore that became part of my routine personally. You know, so there was one joke. Okay, so at one point, I made a guy quit at work back in the day because he was trying to be funny. And I'd gained a little bit of weight, and it was because I was coming off of an addiction that I had and drinking, partying, and all that, all the times, all I did. My 3 meals a day were pain pills, alcohol, and Red Bull. Like, and that was it. It was a good time. It was fun. I mean, I had a good time doing it, but it was not healthy.
That's not a healthy diet, boys and girls.
No, don't do that. It's a bad diet. The South Beach diet is not a good diet. So, like, you know, I'd finally gotten to that point. You know, he kept saying something about me being overweight. And I leaned back on a table, and the way my belly had just kind of grown a little bit, it was just kind of sticking out. He's like, dude, you're getting fat as fuck. I was like, I'll tell you what. I said, do you know why I'm gaining so much weight, man? He said, why? And his girlfriend happened to work there at the same time, too. I said, every time I fuck your girlfriend, she bakes me a pie, and I can't help but eat that shit. And he gets so mad. And I'm giggling about it. And she walks back in the kitchen a little later, oblivious to the context of what's going on. I just used to ask her random questions, and she would just answer them. So I looked at her and said, yo, what kind of pie are you baking me later? She said, I think apple sounds good. And 2 days later, he quit. But, you know, it became that, like, at first, you know, comments like that did bother me. But I was like, you know what? One, fuck, they're probably not true. But two, if they are, it's my issue, not theirs. So I learned to deal with things that way. I know that's not like the healthiest way to deal with things, but I embraced the quote unquote flaws that I had, and just now there's not shit anybody could say to me as an insult that I can't fire back something with. See, it's nice to be an asshole sometimes. It helps.
I mean,
Sometimes.
That's kind of why I have as many blonde jokes in my repertoire as I do, and also why I joke so much about my physical limitations. Like, I don't fall a lot. I just have a personal portable pothole that pops out when it pleases.
There you go. Oh man.
So in the vein of unhealthy coping mechanisms, back at the beginning of transition, I'm sure you can imagine I was in a pretty uncomfortable place, and I would have like this depersonalization pretty regularly, where I didn't feel like I was a person. I didn't feel like things around me were real, or I was attached or actively participating in things. And like, I would do the affirmations, right? And I'd zero by it, and I would just walk in, run down the list of things I'd say every morning. And then I had one of these episodes happen right as I was doing my affirmations, and it felt like I was saying that about an entirely different person. And like, I've never had anywhere near the negative talk toward another person that I have for myself. So like, having this moment of, that's a different person in the mirror, and I'm doing my affirmations talking about someone else, kind of gave me the ability to separate my own negative self-talk from like how I think I look and act and feel around other people. And like, that made affirmations work for me.
There you go. And sometimes that's what it takes. I mean, you know, it's as with 99% of the things we talk about here, most of it, 99% of it is subjective. You know, what works for you may not work, may be an absolute toxic and unhealthy thing for another person. But, you know, like, the affirmations can be fantastic, but, you know, some people may take it into the path of, if I lose 5 pounds, then I bet I'd be beautiful. And then that kind of steamrolls there. It all takes that context of knowing yourself more importantly than what other people may think. What's going to make you happy in the most selfish, selfless way?
I can relate to that one too. There was a period where I was working out 6 days a week with heavy weights and cardio, and like I was on like extreme caloric restriction because it was right before I figured out the trans thing. So I was like, I'm real unhappy with my body. Let me make it better. And like I like started packing on muscle and like trying to be the man,
Right.
and it just like it didn't work. And like it was
Can't
constantly
imagine why.
it was constantly this like, all right, my next goal weight is 240, then it was 220, then it was 200, then it was 190, and then 185, which was the lowest I've ever gotten my body weight, and that was at 3% body fat.
Very nice.
Not very nice. That's dangerously unhealthy unless you've got like a doctor and a nutritionalist working with you.
Well,
Oof.
Another thing along the same lines of thinking about it from another person, what finally got me to bridge that gap with my negative self-talk was thinking about, would that be something I would want my child to say to themselves? No? Okay. How can we fix it?
Right.
I don't have a kid, but I have a pet snake that I've had since I was a child.
Okay.
And like
Is it something you would want your best friend to say to themselves?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's what it was.
I think we're having the same
the
idea
fifth on
there.
that
I'm
one.
an asshole to my friends. So.
Plead the fifth on that one.
Oh, you buttheads.
But I get the sentiment behind it, absolutely. Would I want someone I care about to say this about themselves?
Mm.
Would you want your partner to say this about themselves? Kind of. Sometimes you have to put yourself in perspective of those things. Don't get hung up on it too much. I mean, you're not always going to be 100% positive about yourself.
And that goes back to the forgiving yourself thing. It's okay to have a bad day. Forgive yourself. You're human. Move on. Tomorrow's a new day.
So to the partner thing, I've helped Lav with a lot of their negative self-talk, and like they're not like they'll say some kind of shitty things about themselves, and I'll go in and I'll be like, hey, no, stop it, not allowed. Or like my favorite one is to go against the rules. And at one point in time, right around 3.5-ish years ago, they went, well, you talk shit about yourself all the time. And I kind of got stuck in this position where I had to start working to change that if I was telling Lav not to do that, right?
Well, you just do the parent thing. Like, do as I say, not as I do.
Last time someone said that to me, I punched them in the mouth so hard I broke a knuckle.
There you go, see?
Listen,
I hate that phrase.
That is a very outdated parenting thing.
That phrase was shitty. Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah.
I'd rather just lead with compassion and kindness in my heart and hope. I'm sorry, no, fuck hope. And know that I'm setting a positive example by my actions.
See, I go with the whole, I'm human too. And when I'm wrong, I admit to my children that I'm wrong.
I've done that, with my son before.
That is very important. Because
I tell them that's okay because I'm human, but this is what I'm going to do to fix it.
You're showing them the next day you getting back to life. Here we go again. One more time.
You guys ready for the awkward classroom thing? Go ahead, Max.
I'm totally listening to y'all.
Yeah, I bet.
I am listening to y'all, but I mean, I'm just also like, because I really don't have any insight. It's more of me like learning other people's insight. That's why I'm not really saying much. That and me and Bray have a thing afterwards, and so I'm just trying to like do stuff to my face.
You do whatever you need to do. Ain't
Do
nobody
your
bothered by you.
self-love.
You ain't got to explain nothing.
You're on topic. You're demonstrating self-love.
Yeah.
Look at this red. It's like I put a red shadow on it and then a red sparkle on it.
Okay, good. So
Red.
just for algorithm and panicky clarification, I just make up. So. Oh,
But
man.
yeah.
Self-care is sexy. Absolutely, Daisy. Self-care is sexy.
Yes.
I love it because the chat on screen sometimes gets ahead of the chat that we can see over here on the side, and sometimes it gets way behind. Like, it's fun. It's joyful.
Okay.
Because like it'll pop up right here where Max is, and you'll see like Daisy said, self-care is sexy, and then over here it popped up a few minutes later. So it's just one of those things. Just stupid observation. Let's do the awkward classroom thing.
What?
We should have done this for the intro.
Okay.
Everybody, I'll start it, I guess. But everybody
Okay.
say something they like about themselves.
Was the drag on the cigarette the thing
And
you
you were
like about
gonna
yourself?
start it. You have
Yeah,
to
you said you were gonna start.
Actually, as dark and asshole-ish as it can be sometimes, I really love my sense of humor. I think it's one of my best and worst qualities at the same time. So it's something that I really like. Go ahead, Princess. You on the same screen as me?
my compassion.
Compassion for others. It's a good one.
Yep, because it's actually pretty fucking rare, apparently.
Compassion in people is rare sometimes. Go ahead, Ray.
Well, shit.
If you need a second, I'll throw you off guard real quick. And I really thought the tiny letters on screen right here, Dasik said, "I love my genital attitude." I was like, well, I can get down. I love my genital attitude too.
I love the attitude I've had recently.
Fuck.
Yeah, right? Genital attitude.
So I'm not gonna lie, Becca, I've never seen your lips and your eyes, so I can't attest to that. I'm sure they are beautiful though. Dasik has good taste, so. And you're a friend of Dasik's, so I imagine a very open person. You are indeed. I have seen you on Munch and say some things on Munch before many times, and I'm like, hell yeah, way to be a part of it.
Mm.
Can I say two things?
You say
Being
10
overachiever.
things you want to.
I'm only gonna say two. My creativity and adaptability.
Absolutely.
Chameleon-like qualities are hot.
See, I can change colors. Watch. Fuck, and then I do it.
Ray, I can help you change colors if you need.
How about you, Alice?
I also have two. First, I am this hot mess of a bitch that I am on purpose. Being a person on purpose is a new thing for me. I haven't been doing that for even 2 years at this point. So like instead of just reacting to the things around me, I have who I am as a person, and I have a solid self-image that I can kind of use to react to the world around me and keep myself in check so I don't accidentally hurt people. And then on the not accidentally hurting people, I am apparently the biggest mom friend in my friend group. Like we had a Pride event here locally, and I was the one pulling people out of the sun and telling them, get the fuck in the car, turn on the AC. You're currently experiencing heat exhaustion. Drink cold water. Here, have water. Here, have 2 waters and take them with you to the car. And And like in kinky spaces, I'm the one making sure no one gets hurt. So like I take a very protective role of the people around me, even if I'm not particularly familiar with them, and I like that as well.
Basic says I believe this. I can see that. Nah.
Yes. Okay. What was the question again?
Say something
You're
positive
listening.
about yourself.
Okay. Okay.
You like
I was like, why is everyone's answer so weird? It's about themselves, but I forgot the question. So it makes sense now. Something I like about myself. My personality, I guess. Like, I mean, there's there's a lot of people like me, but there's only one of me. Like, there's a lot of copycats, but there's only one of me. Like, I can be brutally honest to the people I care about and sarcastic to the people I don't.
I got
Like,
the stupid Slim Shady song stuck in my head, but with Nat in there.
but and then I also like my butt. My butt is like my biggest asset.
When they said shake your money maker, they were referring to you.
Right. And I like my brain farts, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So there.
Oh yeah. Good.
Yeah. Asset.
So I can't meditate. I have tried. I know like some people see that as a form of self-care and kind of recuperating. I have tried.
Go ahead, you first, Alice.
As someone who does meditate regularly, it's not for everyone. There's some people where sitting down and being stuck with their thoughts is a worse experience than not trying to meditate at all.
But wait. I thought meditating was to not think.
What happens if you get good at meditating? Ray, I'll let you jump in just a second. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
What happens if you're good at meditating is you'll have a thought and you'll go, oh, hey, there's a thought, and you'll just let it drift away without it disrupting that centered focus that you have on whatever your meditation is.
So
So we're not supposed to. I'm so sorry. We're not supposed to have little meditation Nazis like watching these thoughts come in and like stabbing them with a sword and like making them baseball bats.
You can, but if you make your mind be violent to itself, it's going to be unpleasant for everyone involved.
But it's only violent to the outside intrusive thoughts.
They're all your thoughts.
So I should make it more of like an artistic movement.
Yeah, just be like, hey, a nice thought. I like in my head, the mental image is a river, and it's just kind of detritus floating on the water. Ray, you've been very patient. Please jump in.
Help, Ray. Help.
So to people that say they can't meditate, there is more than one form of meditation. Mm-hmm. Any task that you do mindfully can be a meditative experience. And while it can be the sitting and trying not to think and all of that, it can also be hyper-focusing on controlled thought. So if you're, one example that I use, my art is a form of meditation. While I'm doing it, I'm hyper-focusing on the way the paint sprays, the color that comes out here, like details, being mindfully present in what I'm doing makes it a meditative experience.
Yes, Lav. Another form of meditation that's really common is lifting weights. Like getting, most people just call it like getting in the zone or like getting into a flow state. But that spot where you're just thinking about the motions and there's no other like external intrusive thought coming in to interrupt. It's just Body move, heavy thing moves with it.
I don't know.
Well, okay. I feel like I have to meditate to survive most days then.
Yeah.
Because when I'm not in that mindset of exactly what you guys just explained to me, shit can get fallen apart and I have to write everything down.
Have you discussed ADHD with a mental health professional?
She needs to, I believe. But see, I have to let everything just be chaotic. If I'm writing and I'm in that flow, and then like I see a word, I'm like, wait a second, I don't like that word. What else can I use? It's bam into another tab, and then I'm into another tab, and then I go back to that. It's like full blown chaos, 10,000 things at once, but it's like natural, if that makes sense. Like it's not chaotic to me. That's like I guess, kind of my meditation.
That's interesting.
I know it's ADHD.
I feel like I manage.
Technically, that's ADD. ADHD is only if there's also physical hyperactivity involved. Never mind.
No.
Okay.
As someone who was diagnosed with ADHD,
I'm back on the topic of meditation. I got told one time because like I was like, how do I meditate? How do I like get in with like, with it? Because I was wanting to do it spiritually for something else, but like I tend to space out a lot. Like I will literally, like, especially when I'm eating, like when I'm eating, I'll literally stare at something, whether it be an object, a person, like I'll hyper focus on a leaf blowing in the wind and just sit there and stare at it what seems like fucking hours, but it's only seconds. And I was told that was a form of meditation. I was like, but I can't control it unless someone snaps me out of it, or like my eyes get so dry that I have to blink. Because like I'll literally just stay in that state of like space and like not blink.
if you're doing it on purpose, then it's meditation. If it's not on purpose, then it's dissociation.
Yeah, that it's not on purpose. I'm not doing it on purpose.
Yep, that is dissociation.
Very nice.
That's a big word, but thank you.
Basically, your brain checks out.
Okay, yeah.
Oh God!
Ooh, Jen, don't die.
No!
No death on stream.
Well, she would have fell off camera, so it would have been okay. I would have picked her up after lunch. We got this.
So, not a doctor.
So, not after. Brooklyn, not
Caveat, nothing I'm saying is medical advice. This is just me
Right.
talking about my own lived experiences.
We're just like,
See, I'm such a toxic person
Not the only
because I wanted to
person that's been
correct
like-
you. I'm like, who cares? It is medical advice. You were officially medical licensed.
Mister, shut the fuck up. No one on this
What?
panel is medically licensed.
Next bullet point, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's check out them bullet points you've got
So-
for us over here, mister. What do you got going on over
Oh,
here for
nothing.
bullet points? You never use them. You set them up, you never use them.
We're doing this one.
A journey within. Okay. Exploring the
So,
importance of self-love in relationships.
look, before I move to the next bullet point, if politicians can give medical advice, I can too. So we're going to talk about the importance of self-compassion and forgiveness. I know that was a word mentioned earlier, was forgiveness.
Self-forgiveness.
Mister.
Thanks.
You don't have to pout. It's okay.
I'm
So,
not patting.
That's not a funny thing.
what are you talking about? I don't see Ray at all.
Mister, you're being so bullshit, even Ray's upset with you.
The joys of you never know what to get here. So being able to forgive yourself, though, like with that meditation, I mean, is that kind of like, could that be a central focus of meditation, or
It could be necessarily if you're like trying to meditate on a like specific thing that you're guilty over or that you feel grief on, or like sometimes you do shitty things and you get traumatized by doing the shitty thing and there's trauma to work through from that. So those could all be something you meditate for. Though if you're dealing with those, you probably want to talk to like someone who's qualified to help, not just sit in a room and think about it, because it's real easy to just dwell on the negative feeling and not actually do anything positive in that meditation.
Yeah.
On the note of seeking outside help with that, a lot of professionally guided meditations will help with a lot of those things too. For some people.
Yeah. I don't know. So, not to give like therapeutic advice and stuff, but how in your own personal life have you learned to forgive yourself for something? You don't have to like talk about what specifically it is, but how have you learned to deal with something, whether it's something minor or something super major?
Can I go first? Because I get to bring my y'all were bringing toxic things earlier. I get to bring my toxic thing now.
Sure.
You forget about it.
It didn't happen. All right.
I wish that were an option for me.
I know.
We just bury it until it pops back up. Like, oh shit, that still exists. Now we're gonna cover that back up. It's not healthy at all.
Got a couple of things like in my history that I'm not going to like put out on the internet.
Right.
But my first step toward any actual significant healing was going to therapy. Just having someone to talk to who wasn't going to make you feel like shit for this thing that happened.
Right.
And then going from there and talking to. And like, I was about to lead into my therapist said basically what Becca just put into chat.
Yep.
Like says, my psychiatrist said you do shitty things and then grow. Then you have to look back at yourself, forgive yourself because you did the best you could.
Yeah. Like and grow is the important part. If you look back and go, I'm doing this still today, but I'm a better person now, so I forgive myself. It's not going to be anything helpful for anybody. But like, if you look back at a thing you've done and you need to forgive yourself, a big part of that is not repeating that behavior. Like putting in the work, like if it's a habit that hurts somebody, breaking that habit or like ending that cycle of behavior so that you're actually improving instead of just being like, oh, I deserve forgiveness and I'm better now.
Anybody else got any ways to forgive yourself or
with like the day-to-day stuff? It's pretty much along the same lines. Like, I remind myself that I'm human and I thrive on learning, and every mistake is a learning opportunity.
Can I bring in another toxic thing?
Absolutely.
I do on a lot of occasions go, all right, yeah, I did that, whatever. Fucker deserved it.
Sometimes you justify it. I mean, you know, that's the way. I mean, honestly, if that's genuinely how you feel, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, you know what? That's a very
now if you're doing it to be a scapegoat,
justification,
you know, to not feel it anymore, that's different. But if you genuinely feel that person deserved it, whether it was shitty or not, then make yourself feel better.
See, like I'll be an asshole sometimes, and then I'll feel really bad about being an asshole, and like I'm being an asshole to someone who's saying racist shit or someone who's being transphobic, and I'm like, no, that fucker deserved it.
Right, absolutely, they always deserve it.
I still am kind of in the process with some of the bigger things, and one thing that I'm working on as a step is not overcompensating for something that you haven't forgiven yourself for. Mm-hmm. Like that's you don't have to bend over backwards and kiss someone's ass because you kicked their dog 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. I like it. I like that. That's a good example. I mean, honestly, it's
A
something.
very good example. Something that
rather
Ray would
minor,
absolutely never do.
But it's. But I don't know. Like we bullshit and give toxic advice or advice. If you believe our advice, that's terrible on you. Or some of it. If you believe some of the things we say, if you believe most of what I say.
So that's the fun thing about life in general is that it's your thing to have that filter and take in and learn from what others have, like this shit that spouts out of people's mouths sometimes. Like
So like if we preface an idea by going, this is shitty or this is toxic, and you take that and go, this is how I'm gonna be a role model on this idea, and that's on you.
just know we think it's shitty.
Can we blanket it and just? I'll say when I think an idea is a good idea.
I would love to.
Mine's already blanketed as a bad idea, and I'll just pop in when it's good ideas. Like, hey, here's a good thing.
Sure, but you should put like a little like text box at the bottom of your camera, just under you, says he's an asshole. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, don't listen to this guy unless he says serious moment. So obviously, like I was saying, we all say we bullshit and joke and have toxic things we say, but we do have a lot of positive interactions and are really good to each other most of the time. It creates a ripple effect. It really does. I mean, even my shitty jokes and the things I say can lift somebody's spirit or make them laugh because of one, it's idiotic, or two, it's genuinely funny. But having that influence around you is important to maintain the positive area around you, but you have to do it within yourself as well. It's not a one comes before the other thing, but you have to be able to help them intertwine at some point. Becca, I like that. It says I'm still working on letting myself know I deserve love just because I'm a human being. I'm going to fuck up, and I am going to be better than who I was yesterday.
That's the goal. Every person changes a little bit every day, and we can just make it positive.
I read a quote a while, or I listened to it because I listen to all my motivational bullshit all the time. It's if you focus on changing something 1% every day, at the end of a year, you've changed it 365%.
So we haven't talked about communication very much, but within our positive manifestation of the things we desire and want out of life, that means that we verbally and physically communicate with life what we want, and saying all these nice things and doing all these nice things with ourselves for self-care help tremendously.
Good house.
Ray, it looked like you wanted to say something.
Go ahead.
A little more directly than communicating with life, a lot of this breaks down to communicating with yourself enough to figure out what it is you actually want, or what it is that you actually need in a given situation.
That's where I jump back. That's where I just jump back to. I believe that boundaries, while a form of respect, are also a form of self-love. By establishing a boundary, you know how you want to be treated and will not allow anyone to treat you any less.
I will agree and disagree. I will say it depends on the boundary.
Fair.
Maybe our next bullet point?
Mirror on the wall, boosting self-esteem and body positivity. A couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, at some point in the past few decades, we've had a conversation about our self-image and body positivity and stuff like that. It still goes hand in hand with self-love in some ways.
I want to say something after Alice. I am sorry. I really have to pee.
Okay. I just want to start with there are people who are going to find every person attractive, no matter what. And if you want to work on yourself, like your body image, find those people. Like
Yeah.
I have the shit posting page. I've got like 60 people who regularly simp over anytime I put a selfie down. And then like in the Discord server, I've got 10 people who flirt with me on a daily basis that I flirt back with. And like that does so much for your body image and your confidence.
So, okay. Yeah, absolutely. I can like continue what you were saying while Ray's away with we all like different flavors, colors, smells within all aspects of our life. When we talk on munch, how many times have we said on just this much? Well, not everybody, but we like it like that. Some people like that, but not everybody. I don't believe we need to. I think we've crammed that down your throats enough, y'all. You understand that we're all very extremely unique. Extremely.
I think for the most part, most of our advice is usually pretty nuanced to whoever the person is saying it. I mean, if it's one of those things where if it applies to you, cool, run with it. If it doesn't, then do like Nat and just keep doing your makeup.
Jog.
Pretend you're listening.
Shut up! I totally am listening. I wanted to comment and say I heard something about shoving down throats and stuff, and I'm totally down.
See, that's how you catch Nat's attention right there.
Oh, by the way, you guys.
Yeah.
Liking the gay so far.
Yes. Beautiful.
I'm doing the sparkle now over all the colors, so that's.
Becca says, usually the ones I like don't find me attractive.
So I'm going to give advice that's specifically from my perspective as a non-binary pansexual person, right? If you like someone and want to develop a relationship with them, there should be a friendship first, right? You should get to know the person. You should have that connection build into it. A lot of the time, if you go, oh, I like this person, I'm gonna shoot my shot without that connection, you're rolling the dice to see if you're their type. And if you're not their type, then you get what you're describing.
And how is somebody ever gonna know what their type, like what is being presented to them if you're shooting a one-time shot without dribbling the ball around the court to see what kind of game you've got? Ooh, I did a sports ball reference. And I'm about to tear gas. So I'm just sitting here.
Are you okay?
Love it.
Mister keeps holding the chair down when I do that, and I'm like,
that chair's
in
a death
limbo.
trap. The little thing that locks it in place will sometimes unlock itself in the middle of you sitting there without doing anything. So yeah, it's fine. Or it'll do that thing where you lean just a little bit and it'll just suddenly unlock. Yeah, and that's
Munch is a roller coaster.
Did we all already talk about like what has helped us with that?
I talked about mine. That was it.
Okay. Magic wand.
I had a thing that I wanted to say. What helped me with mine was honestly becoming a part of the adult content industry. Like, yes, it has its downfalls, of course, but for me, it really helped to know that no matter what I am insecure about on my body, there is somebody that's willing to pay to see that shit.
That is fucking facts. I agree with that 100%.
So
I am listening.
That was practically the same thing I said, and my experience was also in sex work. Back before my delayed puberty happened, I was still a fluffy-haired little twink, and like being in a room with horny adults who wanted to pay for it, like built the confidence, and then the transiting happened.
So we can all agree that
yeah, like
you know what
is a huge factor. I think Mr. Ken too.
straight guy hot take, okay, or hetero, whatever, cis, hetero, all those fun words that go before my name.
It's just hat white man. Go.
There you go. Go as a cishet white man. Go to a gay bar. If you feel like you're not confident in how you look, go to a gay bar.
Let's not.
Why not? That right there, you will get hit on. You will get free drinks. You will have a good time, and you will feel like a hot little college girl for a couple hours.
But you're going into a place that's specifically for queer people to meet each other.
Well, I'm just going to a bar. It just happens to be gay.
Mm.
It's like when I go to Pride. I go to Pride to have fun. I'm not gay.
You can go to Pride to be in LA, but like going into a queer space to be flirted on by queer people who assume you're queer because you're in that space, it's kind of shitty.
Well, it's
kinda
toxic
shitty
as
that
fuck.
somebody
But
would assume just because you're in a space that you are.
If you go to a place that's meant for gay people to meet up with each other, and you go into this space specifically to have gay people flirt with you,
Are they good drinks at gay bars?
yes, every gay bar has delicious drinks. That's just
Right,
a fact.
what kind of delicious drinks are we talking about here?
Bro, you're fucking with my lighting.
I will grab my flashlight and flash it on you.
Now,
Okay.
now where I kind of combat it's shitty behavior, as long as you're upfront and you're communicating.
Yeah.
That you're like, I appreciate it. You know, it's not my scene. I'm here with a friend. You know, we're just having drinks, all this stuff. You can still go to get to know people. It's just nice to be hit on every now and then.
Yeah, because like you don't
It's like telling
have
them,
to go
hey,
in these spaces to necessarily meet somebody to get.
Right. I'm not going to con somebody into feeding me drinks and shit. You know, I'm just there to have a good time with my friends. It just happens to be a space they like to go to. I just happen to get flirted with.
So there's two very different situations between, hey, if you want to get hit on, go to a gay bar, and going with a gay friend to a gay bar.
Not gonna lie to you. Every time I get hit on by a gay guy, I know I'm sexy as fuck.
See? It's a
So
confidence.
every time a girl calls me ugly, I look at her and go, "Ha, joke's on you."
What you got?
I know you. Like I know you lying.
Look at him talking
Right.
more than me.
Go ahead, Ray.
So I think the key to where if it's shitty or not is in how you respond to said hitting on. Like if you are being, I kind of agree that it's a little shitty to go into a place intending to be hit on when you're not interested in anybody there. But if you're honest about it in your response, hey, we don't bat for the same team, but I appreciate what you're saying.
Right, but I also know that here locally, at least, the gay bars here are, while they're called the gay bars, they generally have like all the people here.
Yeah,
Like there's a place, Scorpio's in Charlotte.
we don't
and
have very many.
Scorpio is like the fun spot. Like it's a gay bar. It originated as a gay bar.
What?
It's changed a lot since then. But you know, it's just the fun spot. You know, you're gonna go. You know, it's gonna be a good time. It's not gonna be drama. You know, it's gonna be a blast.
I'm over here mumbling how lucky you guys are because I know how many bars exist up north. So think about that. Instead of bars, we have churches here in North Carolina, and
We
we
have
don't have bars.
9 bars in the city, and the one that's butted up against ours, and none of them are queer safe.
That's West Virginia, and it sucks that that's.
I
like
want
that.
to make it
Yeah.
clear that it is okay if you are a straight person to go into queer spaces as an ally and hang out and be a person.
Right, you're not going to be a shitty person. Like, you know, if you have the intentions of being an asshole to people because they're gay or because they're queer of any way, in one of these spaces, stay the fuck home. Like,
Well, I'm totally gonna go in there and just thrash the place.
You shut the hell
Oh,
up.
you're big old dick, you would. Put it away.
Well, first of all, he won't even go into a fucking gay bar. He has made it perfectly clear that he is not going into I think it's called Twisted, is like the gay club here. Okay, it's called Twist. He has made it perfectly clear that he will not accompany me in there. And I'm like, baby, I'm trying to live out my gay fantasy.
Okay,
please.
all right. So the reason why I won't go into hold on, the reason why I don't go into Twist because Miami's a gay bar itself. Like, there's no point in going to a gay bar and pay a cover charge and then pay for drinks. We can just go out the street right outside the door, and all of a sudden, boom, it's right there in front of you. There's no need there's no need to go into a club and pay all that money when you could just go to South Beach on 12th Street on the beach and it's right there.
It was pretty
It's going
beautiful.
into a curated and safe space in a state where the governor is trying to legislate those people out of existence.
Like,
Thank
You're
you.
fucking up my lighting.
like seriously, like why would I want to pay a $30 cover charge?
Rel, I love you. Shut up for a minute.
No.
Yes.
Okay, I'm a mute again.
In the political environment that we are currently in, those spaces are very much needed, especially like in Florida and other states where we are trying to, still exist. It is important to have those spaces where you can be free to exist without having to worry about if that straight person that's coming in is an ally or not.
And how, like, going into a queer bar or into a queer space as an ally is a good thing if it's a public venue. If you're going into something private, like a gay bar or like a club that's curated and has maybe a bouncer or whatever, how are we supposed to know that this stranger who says he's an ally but is straight is not just some bigot saying he's an ally to get in the door?
How are we supposed to know this person's gay or not?
You know, it's weird. If you guys want me to charm men, I'm being neutral about it. Everybody's the same. This is how I look at it. All jokes aside, it's not even a chessboard anymore. It's basically an open field. There's like one side is saying who is what, just like the other side is saying the same question, who is what. I don't even think it's about either it with the Santos. What this is about with the whole "don't say gay" ban, whatever the case may be. He didn't stop just there. He banded immigrants. He banded a lot of things. He's trying to change education. He basically trying to win over the nomination of a Republican Party. That's basically what this all is. This is basically a sham to basically just win over the Republicans, just to show how much power he could have or run, whatever the case may be, whatever he's trying to do, just to become president of the United States. That's what this all is. So if you ask me, this is just it's a name for it, but I'm gonna call it a shadow. He's basically just doing this to win votes. That's all this is.
As far as what his motivation is, it doesn't really matter when the end result is very real harm to trans people.
Right. If he was just saying these things, and not doing anything about it, would be different than if he's passing actual laws. I mean, it's still shitty to say those kind of things and would still provoke insane ideology to exist, and that would be more pandering to the party, whereas passing these laws, it just shows that he's serious and he thinks that gays and immigrants and transgender people are lesser people than anybody and they shouldn't exist. But back to the topic of positive self-image.
All right, so I'm gonna have to go cook, but this is my outro, and this might be a little bit comedy and it might be dark humor a little bit. Some folks might like it, some folks may not, but no worries. I still love you all in the end. That last person that I remember, this happened at work. One person said the same thing. He's like, "Your governor is trying to erase us and oppress us." So I looked at him. I'm like, "Please tell a black person about oppression, please."
Oh my fucking God.
Now I'm gonna cook.
That's why we all need to be together.
So when it comes to
support each other.
Body image, the biggest thing we have, the biggest influences we have, obviously, is media. Things have changed recently. thankfully. I mean, it's harder to do still. So you look at, like, I saw a headline the other day that said Lizzo is thinking about getting out of the music industry because of all the hate she receives for her body size, her body type. But it's more important to her, from what I was reading, it's more important to her that she remains a beacon of
Good.
people that are her body size, that are her type, all these things, that she remains that front image to say it's okay to be, who you are,
want to be.
exist, and do it unapologetically. But I think, like, so we talked a minute ago, Ray, you said that, no matter what you look like, no matter what you are or do, somebody's going to pay for it. So, and I think we're seeing that more on the rise of influencers and public figures and stuff like that, that the quote unquote, Hollywood standard of beauty is changing to be more inclusive, because people exist of all types. And I would personally never make anybody feel shitty for how they look. People are beautiful in their own way. Some people may not be my type, my flavor. Doesn't mean they're not beautiful. And Becca says she's super confident, and I love it. Did you guys see where she came out? Was it Lizzo that came out on? She came out on stage with some drag queens and stuff too. Mm-hmm. I know several artists have recently, and it's fucking amazing. Did you guys see where Maynard from Tool came out to the show in Florida a couple weeks ago, I think it was, and full drag?
No.
Yeah. And it's probably like some old ass headline, but it did pop across my feed the other day that said that it just happened. So, right, Becca says no more Victoria's Secret models, but I think Victoria's Secret is changing, or excuse me, people are changing the way Victoria models are seen. Because now people are modeling for bigger people, short people. What's up?
I looked up the thing. That was May 21st. Maynard James Keenan in Florida, specifically at Daytona Beach, like went full drag, fake tits, exaggerated makeup, the works, big blonde wig. Let's see if I can find a picture.
Oh man, the picture I saw, I do know that was from a previous show, I'm pretty sure. But same concept, but yeah, like that's perfect. Like so that's an example. A lot of people try to use the term privilege in a negative tone, but that's the example of using your privilege for good, using your status and your advantages for good. You look at Taylor Swift, Dolly Parton, and Maynard, and all those folks right now are using their platform to say that none of this shit's okay. And that it's okay to be a drag queen, to be trans, to just exist as the person you are.
I had something to say about the thing, but then I got all excited because Alice was really excited about that last thing. So now, sorry guys. What's the topic? What's the next bullet?
So
before we lose our cookies, we got 30 minutes left.
Can I say like the media? So like social media and stuff like that specifically.
Of bodies and stuff.
Filters they're not dying, but they're becoming more obvious. I do like that, when you use a filter on TikTok, it tells you what filter is being used. So that person doesn't look like that, especially when they use like the bold glamour filter that's like AI generated and like does all the things whether you cover your face or not.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see it in the bottom that it says bold glamour, so that person doesn't really look like that. So, don't hold yourself to that standard. Be who you are. And then, I use a smoothness sometimes on mine just because I got these fucking Grand Canyon wrinkles up here. When I start talking and stuff like that. So it doesn't bother me. I don't do it to like.
I have a question. Do you guys think those filters help you with your self-image? Because I feel like I like it.
Good ass.
I like a good smooth.
Yes, to an extent. If you get to the point where you have to have a filter because you don't like the way you look without them, then there's a problem. But aside from that, it might as well just be you doing makeup.
I mean, it makes me feel better because I don't like the way I look with them or without them, so it works. So I just use them anyway. Oh.
I think it's also okay if you absolutely don't like the way you look that you still use them.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things.
Well, and never mind. I lost my whole train of thought. Never mind. Go ahead.
I like the way you look.
My take on it, honestly, is filters are just, they are, like you said, digital makeup. As long as you use them as such. But if you're like shaping your face to look different and like you're unrecognizable, then that's kind of shitty. Don't be catfishing people. Come on, you can do it.
This? You want me to show a comment?
There you go. Says Becca says, I'm starting to love the fact my tits are small. I don't have to wear a bra. It took me a while to appreciate them. That was a sigh of I am angry at your comment.
I am over here frustrated that mine aren't growing faster.
Listen, you can have some of mine. Like,
hey, I thought you were gonna give it to me.
I got enough to give both of you. I could give you guys each a cup size and still be a larger than average cup size.
Okay.
So
sounds like a deal to me.
Before we hop on to the final topic for this last little run through,
I lost my. Oh, there it is.
On a 1 to 10, as far as like body positive goes, I'm like a 6. I know like in certain aspects, like some aspects I'm a 10. I know I've got like nice arms and all this such, but
well, okay, check it out. We all have a different mother freaking calculator that
Absolutely.
we use. So
Absolutely.
numbers are like not a.
So that's my own personal scale there. But those are things that so when I do work out, which is like rare, like you'll see an eclipse more often than you see me working out. But those are areas I don't really focus on. So because I know that's not an important part to me, because I know it's as good as it needs to be. It makes me happy I've got it. So I focus on other things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just wondered, like, how do you guys deal with the things that you don't see or you do see as super positive versus things you see as super negative about yourself?
I have a couple of specific examples I can give.
Absolutely.
So like when I started transitioning, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to look like in general, and like I'm non-binary, so the thought was, let's go for androgynous, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up going kind of femme, but with like I still have most of the muscle structure I had before I started transition, and I kind of leaned into that a lot. Most of the people that I'm dating or in an intimate space with are physically smaller than I am, and most of them are bottoms. So like being bigger and stronger than them works. And like that, where I was at the beginning a bit dysphoric about my size and like the muscle I have on my arms and shoulders and etc. Having that group of people who are like going to melt into a puddle at the mention that I lift more than they weigh. Like that really helped me. For example, I'm going to slide off screen for just a second.
Kind of off topic, but you guys, do y'all want to see my eye?
beautiful.
Very nice.
Your eye makeup is wonderful. But
Thank
at
you.
my desk,
Okay.
I have 2 sets of these that are both 60 pounds.
Very nice.
And
Well,
like,
how effortlessly you pick that up too. I know some men, that just can't, like, they struggle with
some manly men who like struggle to get past 30 or 40, right? And like multiple of the people that I'm dating are sub 100. So if I'm lifting 120 at my desk and benching even more than that, they go every time we talk about it. And like that helped.
I could see that.
And
Hey,
like
Ray, your face is starting to look like your hair is blending in a little bit there.
We're not doing this again. We got a half hour left. Keep going.
And then another thing, and it's going to be this running theme of find people who enjoy it. I still kind of get a bit unhappy when I see like the pouch under the chin in pictures. And Clara, another person that I am dating, like for a long time, I would send a selfie and I'd be like, sorry about the chin. And she would not like yell at me, but she would challenge that and be like, hey, stop that. That's not cool. And like kind of almost conditioned me just to send them without the apology, and then started praising it. And then boom, now I'm Pavloved and I don't hate it that much.
There you go. See? So I like that. So to deal with the negative, you just kind of find people that will help reinforce that it's okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
I deal with the negative with humor. Like, I am very insecure about the bottom part of my belly. But if I can laugh about it, it makes it a little better in my mind. Because if I'm already... Fuck.
Name a time and place.
Go.
Oh, you guys.
Let Ray recover for a second.
Okay. If I'm already laughing about it, it doesn't hurt me if somebody else laughs about it. Like, the bottom part of my belly is my most insecure part, and I joke that I used to say I would feel sexy if I lost X amount of weight. Well, now that I've lost a little over 100 pounds, I gotta lift my belly up to see anything fun. How's that sexy?
Oh my goodness, I love it. But like humor is that's me. I mean, when I was younger, obviously I took it to heart. If you guys see a picture of me in 9th grade, I was like scrawny and like my ears were about this big. But as I got bigger, and I noticed that I always joke and everybody tells me your ears aren't big. I know they're not big. They're normal. I have a normal fucking head. But now when people try to say something, it's like in big ass ears. I'm like, well, yes, so your mom can hold on to them. So, she doesn't lose control of me. It's just things like that. It's just turning stuff around on people, and that's how I've always dealt with my negative. I don't know. It's just
So, if somebody's ever negative to me, I like to kind of just be stupid oblivious about it. I really do. It's one of my favorite moves. I'll be super oblivious about it and just think that they're just fucking talking about somebody else and be like, oh, I'm so sorry for that fucker. But they mad at them.
I think it's super important, though. I mean, to be able to handle those things. It's not easy for everybody. I'm sure there are tons of people, and for the most part, everybody has something that if you were to absolutely insult, it could probably ruin their whole day. But to learn to deal with the majority of it, the things that you think are the worst parts of you are probably somebody's
probably
favorite.
most delicious parts.
Like, I had, just with the belly thing that I've already talked about, I had somebody come into one of my spaces where I do things that you can't do on YouTube. And they wanted to pay for a picture of just the bottom part of my belly. That's all they wanted. And they paid $30 for it.
Can you forward this person to me too? Bitch, sharing is caring.
No, mine. I'm just kidding.
Another thing that kind of helps when you're dealing with other people being negative, like, is primarily in like online spaces, because it's where I deal with most people. The more that they engage with you, like if you have a public page, even if it's coming to say awful shit, the more of you they're going to see. And most people will just shut up if you point that out. And like, specifically what I deal with from time to time is like transphobes. Because I did a photo shoot in a maid outfit, right? That had the cat ears, the cat paws, a tail, the whole 9 yards. And like, I get a bunch of transphobes coming in being like, "Ooh, this is disgusting. What gross fetishism are you up to now?" And like, most of the time I'll just shoot back, I don't know, you follow my page. Why don't you go look at my most recent posts?
Up to meow.
What kind of fetishism are you looking at up to now? Well, apparently, whatever you're into, you're in my comments.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because
I don't know.
it's cat maid.
So
It's a cat maid.
it's a cat maid.
Is it? So you say meow.
You say meow. So do y'all think how do you think the future of said like beauty industries and things are going to be? I mean,
Can I go full ANCOM for a second?
go for it.
ANCOM, anarcho-communist. You are always going to have these toxic beauty standards and an industry built around them, as long as the fabric of how society and how people interact with each other is centered around capitalism, right? You have to have people who are insecure so you can sell them the solution to their insecurity in the form of makeup and expensive surgeries and designer clothes, or whatever the next thing they think is that might solve that insecurity, rather than being comfortable with their own body.
Victoria's Secret is a big fucking insecurity company.
Absolutely.
Victoria's Secret is that everything they have was designed by some dude in Ohio.
Right.
Yes.
That's
Oh my
the
god,
secret.
I love that song. That's my
Right?
shit.
It's such a good
I
song.
do got to say that I have recently seen quite a few businesses that are offering actual solutions with their products, as far as like clothing and other things that are equally as amazing as these other ones are shitty.
Can I mention one specific such company?
Of course.
Absolutely.
It's this little indie clothing shop run by a couple of witchy lesbians called Dark Cottage that has some of the best clothing I've seen. And like, I ordered one of their dresses. I was originally going to be wearing it to Pride, but I made Lab wear it because they were going to show up to Pride in crushed velvet in 95 degrees. But it's all of their clothes are light, like all of their summer and spring clothes are like lightweight. They're comfortable. Everything has pockets, and like real pockets, not the little shallow ones. And like the dress that I got, specifically I got their Morrigan apron dress, and like the dress that I got was slightly larger than like the standard 2X dress, because all of their clothes are sized up a little bit to accommodate for shrinkage and plus size people, and they go up. Like, I think that the largest size I saw was like 5X. Like, they go way up on the plus sizes, and like they're all of their clothes are very gothy witchy vibes, and it's just, they're very nice.
And this, so I'm going to just make an assumption here that you could probably go on their website and see like their customers modeling all sizes of these clothes. So you're getting
a view of, because I've noticed that these companies that are amazing like this are not afraid to show their products off on any body type.
So I don't know that they're their customers, but all of their clothes are modeled by like the usual like petite like fashion model, and then a larger model. So you have both sides of the modeling spectrum in
For
there.
the most part, I'm looking at them now. For the most part, it may be one of the people like that maybe runs the company, because
that's hot.
It looks like
Yes,
the same.
one of them I know is like if you specifically go to the Morgan apron dress, the larger model from that is one of the ladies who runs it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so they do have kind of they show a different style. That's good though. I like that.
Yeah,
it's a nice dress. I like that dress.
Very nice.
It's really nice, and I was gonna wear it to Pride and go be witchy and gay with people, and then Lav almost committed suicide by sun.
Hey, my mom did that.
Ugh.
Well, does anybody need a drink?
It's Rebecca. It's Dark Cottage. Actually, it's darkcottage.com. I'll throw it up real quick.
But I'm so excited to buy more from them. And like that, the Morgan apron dress, like it's surprisingly cool to wear. For as much fabric is on your body, it's light and it's breathable, and it's just so nice.
See, I'm the pervy one over here going, oh.
Are they affordable?
Yeah.
As far as like indie fashion clothes go, yeah, that dress ran me like $84, including shipping.
Oh, you're gonna be mad it's on sale now for like $60.
Nah, I'm not mad. Someone else can get a good deal.
And they sell just like they can sell like, obviously you mentioned about the dresses and stuff, but do they sell like accessories and like tops and bottoms as well?
They do. They have just the categories up at the top. They have tops, bottoms, dresses, outerwear, and accessories. And I looking at their accessories page, they have a set of earrings that I want to get.
They have these the ink cap.
The ink cap. Yep.
Yeah, those things are pretty. I don't know. I gotta get off the site. That's like my thing is hot goth girls, and yeah.
That's the aesthetic I'm going for. Every person on this page is transition goal.
There you go. See, it's beautiful. Oh man. But yeah, there you go, Becca. I don't know if you got the site's right there on the bottom, darkcottage.com. Super cool stuff though. Really nice fashionable things. So any men, by all definitions, they make I just saw them the other day and was like, that's really cool, because sometimes I get a little judgmental about my dad bod. They have boxers now that are made into Spanx as well, or not Spanx, but like I don't know what you would call it.
Shapewear?
Yeah, shapewear. They have boxers that are shapewear. And I was like, what? That's cool as fuck. I should get a pair of those on my days I'm not feeling it. Because I'm not big by any means with my belly. I just look down sometimes and I'm like, hey, you're gross today.
Yeah, I get that feeling.
It's all the lint hanging out of it. You know, it's gross.
I have a small piece of advice. If you're going to be buying shapewear, speaking from experience, make sure there's room enough.
Ah, okay, yeah. I can imagine it gets a little tight there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So to make sure the hangers have room.
Yeah. I've had some unexpected growth in the past month, so like the shapewear I had, I have to order in new sizes.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
See, I tried skinny jeans on one time. Like the girl I was dating bought them for me because she wanted, she liked guys in skinny jeans. Like, you're not gonna like me.
I mean, to be fair, Mister, I'm gonna objectify you for a second.
Absolutely.
With that ass of yours in skinny jeans.
Whew. Oh yes.
Find some cheap skinny jeans and get them.
I'll let you wear mine.
But see, yeah, and I think that's all it was. And you never have to apologize for objectifying me. We just had this conversation. I'm fine being objectified by anybody. Hoochie dad shorts? No way.
All right, before we get off on a tangent of looking up all different kinds of cool clothes,
Thank you.
we have 15 minutes left.
Thank you.
I mean, technically, we
close
have to
it up.
like whenever.
Well, technically, I will not be here, and I don't want the stream going up all night. So I want to go to bed.
Shorty
Not-
chino shorts.
No,
Hey, Dad.
So the
Those
last
just scream.
and I like that this is a short segment because it
shaved
means we're
my
going to share
legs.
our most essential
All the way.
information.
God, look at those legs. in those shorts.
Nurturing your individuality in a partnership.
I'm such a
This
pervert.
is section, the third topic or whatever about boundaries and balance.
the rest of it?
I've been drinking it with water. I have to do it half and half because
It's important. I think an important part of self-love is, especially in a relationship, is maintaining who you are, not losing yourself in the couple, so to speak, or the throuple or whatever. Not losing yourself in your partnerships. That's hard for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I found that there are times even in this relationship that I have, I've lost my individuality in some things, but we quickly find it again. It's how we work out, but understanding that there are boundaries that she has, I have, like when we would go out before we got the car we have now, I wouldn't drink because she doesn't know how to drive a stick and she's not comfortable. Even if I only had a couple of drinks, she wouldn't be comfortable with me driving home anyway. So, that was kind of a boundary we had. And even now, I forget we have a car that she can drive. So, like, I watch how much I drink. Because I don't like being drunk in public. Just because, like, mentally, it's like I feel unsafe. Because if shit goes down, I don't want to be, I don't want to get shot and die because I was drunk.
Fair.
I want to have a chance to at least escape. But I want to be able to take care of her as well. If something happens, I should be able to jump in and handle any kind of situation. Becca says, have your own hobbies and solitude. And that's something, if you ever hear her, she jokes all the time. She's like, are you going to work yet? Yeah.
So, what the fuck did Mr. say earlier that he's so contradicting himself on right now? He said something wild and crazy.
I always say wild and crazy shit.
And we were all like, no, we would never want to put ourselves through that. Anyways.
Right. That's the fun of me. You have to learn when I'm full of shit and when I'm not, because it all sounds the same.
The easy answer is you're always full of shit.
That's the best approach to take.
I have something to say. So my mom, she used to fuck with me when I was little, and she would say that my eyes used to be blue until I grew up, and they turned brown because I'm so full of shit. So I'm sorry. I heard about the whole full of shit thing, and I was like, wait, I know something.
That's why it's fun to have Nat on the panel. It just picks out keywords. Ramming down throat, full of shit. We're gonna have to keep these written down somewhere. That way, when Nat's,
I'm paying attention.
in La La Land, we'll just say one of those phrases and see how quickly they jump in.
Yes, Alice.
So, kind of bouncing off of what Rebecca said, having your own hobbies and solitude, something that's been like a requirement for me with the people that I'm dating is that in the space that I live in, I have to have a room that's mine. Like, this is the room that's mine. I've got a door. They knock. If I say they can come in, cool. If I say not now or I don't answer, they shoot me a message, and they don't come in until I respond, right? And this is my space that I can like go and decompress from. Right. So, and like that doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything bad happening. Like Live could be doing arts and crafts in the living room and just being loud doing that, or like have music going, and I'll come up in here and just put headphones on and just have my own space while they're doing whatever they're doing. Hobbies, yes and no, but I think more importantly, having your own goals. An example like that is sitting right back here. My fucking college degree. That was something I was doing on my own the entire 4 years it took me to get a 5.5 year degree. That was something I was consistently working toward. I'd be like, all right, I'm going to go work on my homework now, putting on headphones and music. See you tomorrow. And then go into my room and work on it. And it's just really important, A, to have your own things to work toward, and B, to be able to work on those independently, like to go be alone.
I like that. Like having some form of self-improvement that is self-driven and self-contained.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness. Oh. I slept all day. I'm not awake yet. That's all it is.
I have been up since 6 o'clock this morning.
Why'd you do that?
Don't
say responsibilities.
No, it was very irresponsible, but I'm going to just
okay.
put it in the private chat because I don't want to say it on YouTube.
Oh, those are the best.
Is that what we're live on? Are we live on YouTube?
YouTube, Facebook, Trollo, I think it is. Trello.
Yeah, I said that little joke.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, we all over the place. We're on like my personal Facebook, my page Facebook, Jen's Facebook. We all over the place.
Oh man, this is gonna be awesome.
Wait, no, I want to paint you.
Baby, this is not Titanic.
Paint him like one of your French girls.
A little dot of eyeshadow.
See, that's where it starts, and then all of a sudden, where it be.
So
wrap up, please.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Pretty.
So when it comes to having those boundaries, how do you deal with when a partner crosses them?
I might not have the healthiest answer, but I have my answer. They get one warning. They do it a second time. That's it. Yeet.
Okay. It's fair. That is. You know,
yeah, I mean,
being polyamorous, you know, I dated someone last year, and now I have a new boundary for new partners. You know, this one is a requirement. You don't have to get along. You don't even have to like each other. You just have to meet each other, and have at least that conversation of, "Hi, this is me. Hi, this is me. Cool, nice to meet you." You know, whatever. That's perfectly fine. You know, I'm not asking you to like each other. I'm just asking that you acknowledge the other person is there.
An example of being of like I dated someone and now I have a new boundary. My practice usually was to get like STI tested once a year and after each new partner because, you know, responsibility. And I don't date people I don't trust. So it used to be that I would just be like, okay, have you been tested recently? Yes. What was your result? And the person that Lav and I spent with Valentine's Day with didn't get tested, but he said he did. Fortunately, nothing negative came out of that, but like just having that breach of trust once, it's no, show me the report. You show me your results page from the test.
Show me the Carfax.
Mm-hmm. Basically, show me the Carfax for your dick.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So with getting tested, that is so important. Whether they say, you know, oh yeah, I've been tested, I don't have anything. Have them show you the paperwork, the email, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is like, oh my God, that's so important. I Me and bro,
Show
we
me your
both go.
genital facts.
Yeah, show me your genital facts for real. But
Show me
we
the
go every single month. There's a clinic down here that does free STD testing and stuff like that. And they also give out really cool condoms. Like I have mint, bubble gum, banana split, chocolate flavored condoms. It's great. But yeah, definitely like if that person is not willing to show you any kind of proof of testing, don't fuck with them.
Don't fuck them either.
Yeah, like don't know. Like I wouldn't even touch them with a 10-foot pole, to be honest. But I'm an asshole, so if you know the person, then you know that's different.
We could call
this
it
was
Alice.
this was someone I knew for like 5 years, and I had no reason not to trust. And then
Right.
I found out from a friend later that he just never got tested.
Yeah, see, that's shitty. I mean, why breach your trust? I mean,
That's danger noodle.
and it makes it a danger noodle if it's not tested.
Yeah.
No one heard my comment a minute ago, Alice. That made you laugh, so I'm glad. So, well,
I heard it.
Rebecca says that's an app, the idea for an app, and that's what we'll call it. Cockfacts. So now let me ask. I do have a not necessarily a controversial question, but a genuine question. How do you guys feel about defining boundaries as we would limits in kink, as soft boundaries and hard boundaries? Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. Like I do that all the time. Like a
Right.
hard boundary is something
Fuck
that's
no.
completely unnegotiable, non-negotiable. And like a soft boundary is something that like maybe you have some trauma or some discomfort around, but it's something you might want to explore, or you would be willing to explore if the other person wants to. And you just have to make sure that for those soft boundaries, I'll jump to you in just a moment, Ray. For those soft boundaries, you have to make sure that there's like necessary safeguards. Like a lot of the time, I'll use safe words in non-kink situations all the time. For just that same thing, be like, hey, if this, pick a word. If this gets uncomfortable, say the word, and we move on. We just stop and do something else. Right.
I kind of see it a little bit with an extra layer to it of limits and then boundaries and then soft boundaries. Like something that is, to me, something that is an absolute, like, vital to my existence thing would be a limit. Like, don't punch me in the face. That's a limit for me. But also, like, there's a lot of different things that can go into that category, but something that is kind of essential, but I might be willing to compromise a little, would be a boundary for me. And a soft boundary would be situational, like highly situational. Like,
Right.
I guess it depends on how situational it is.
Gotcha.
Like something I'd be willing to do with one person, but not with another, would be in the soft boundary.
Right. Okay. Oh yeah. So, I've been binging How I Met Your Mother. Like people binge The Office, and a concept I like, and you would really need a really strong relationship and connection with somebody to do this. But if you're having a fight, you can pause the fight. It just depends on your relationship. I mean, there are moments where obviously you wouldn't want to do that, but that's something like if you negotiate, or I've seen the word negotiate, but if you negotiate and discuss it beforehand and you have that clear communication, hey, if I need a break from this, we can throw pause on it and carry on life like normal, and then we can unpause later. Good.
So that's actually something that Lav and I do, because we're both really bad at communicating when we're upset. We'll be like, all right, we'll come back to this, and we'll go to our own separate spaces and do whatever we're going to do for a while. And like a lot of the time, both of us will reach out to someone else and be like, hey, here's the situation. Is the level of upset that I am reasonable for this? And talk to talk about the situation to someone else and then come back to it once we've had that chance to cool off and like get the way we feel out to another person. And we both have friends and other partners who will check us if we're being assholes.
Very nice. Good. Well, I think we'll throw some closing thoughts together. We're hitting that 2-hour mark in 2 seconds. I'll jump on it first and go ahead and say that I think, when it comes to, I know we kind of got off on the topic of boundaries and things like that, but I think that's an essential part of self-care. Self-care is, like I said at the beginning, it's not necessarily, it's not necessarily, it's selfish in the healthiest of ways. To make sure that you're doing things for yourself that benefit you, but aren't diminishing your relationship or aren't diminishing other people. So to make sure that you take care of yourself, do some affirmations, do some affirmations, do those things. Some of you may need to fake it till you make it, and that's okay. You can tell yourself you're beautiful every day, even if you don't believe it at first, because eventually you're going to start believing it and you're going to see it. And I think that's super vital to understand that you can change your thinking and your thought process. You just have to work on it. Anything new?
Apparently, I need to go to the doctor. It was a great bunch, guys. Self-love. That's it. I'm really shot for the night. I've been up since like freaking 4. I love you guys. Have a good night. Peace out.
I'll go last for closing thoughts.
Go ahead, Ray.
Fuck.
I mean, that can be a closing thought, but
Yeah, I guess
that's usually
my
like the beginning of the conversation.
I guess that's my closing thought. Yeah, what Rebecca said.
There you go.
As I know I wasn't really talking or listening throughout this whole 2-hour thing.
Really not. You were listening the whole time.
But so here's my self-love.
Happy Pride.
Oh, this is beautiful.
That I'm finished now.
Awesome.
How ironic. It took me 2 hours to do all this makeup. That's crazy.
Take lots of pictures.
Oh, I've written that.
Oh yeah, he's the one that wrote Happy Pride on there.
Oh yeah.
Gold star.
Ray, did you put together any other thoughts?
None at all.
No thoughts? Head empty?
I'm looking forward to next Monday.
I don't think her head's empty. I think it's just nothing she could say right now.
I love y'all.
That's all right, Ray. We don't need you to think right now.
I'm not sticking around for the awkward.
Closing thoughts. Self-love is taking care of yourself in the ways that you want and need as best you can. And reaching out to other people when you can't.
Ro has some last thoughts about self-love and stuff.
All right, let's hear this.
Hey. Smoke weed every day.
Oh my god.
Hey, that might be self-love for somebody.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, I'm not cosplaying as Hulk Hogan today.
You got the beard going on.
I do. I have my Trans Pride beard today. Had rainbow the other day. I think we're going lesbian or pan tomorrow.
Up to you. What do you guys
What do you guys think? Lesbian pride flag or pansexual pride flag?
Jen said she was pan, didn't she?
Yeah.
Do pan.
Oh yeah. I think that'll be great. It's my fun that I'm having right now. You know, for also, you know, it's out there so people can see some sort of representation, even if they're not out there yet. But also being in a small town in North Carolina,
I have enjoyed
I love it.
hearing how you have been able to educate.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been like it's kind of been eye opening for a whole different reason. We can have that discussion another time, but not all people are as assholeish as you think, you know. But just like not all people are as good as they appear when they're doing things online either. I think you just hear, you know, you hear the best and worst of all the things, just because it's how society works. That's what we need. That's the entertainment, is the good, the best, and the happiest stories, and then the absolute bullshit and worst of it. So, in real life applications, it's not always so bad or always so good. So, yeah. Next week is Digital Love. Go ahead, Alice.
To expand on that for just a second, most shitty people are just conditioned to react to ideas. So like they're not like, "Ooh, I'm going to go hate on this group." It's, "Oh, this person told me this thing about this group." And that's all they know.
Basically, what you're saying is that hate is not like, it's not hereditary. It is a taught thing.
Yeah.
What a profound thought.
I love you guys.
So
Next Monday was
is
Digital Love. That's online dating.
Yeah, navigating online dating, long distance connections, and virtual intimacy. We were going to do that this week, but Day6 really wanted to be a part of that, so I think it's quite a.
I've got quite a bit of experience. One of my partners is in France, and another is in New Jersey.
Exactly. So, yeah, is Dream good? Like, I haven't heard anything out of Dream today about being here, missing.
Dream was having a time earlier.
Okay.
He'll be okay.
That's fine. Yeah, either way. I mean, I just wanted to make sure that everything was all good. So. All right. Well, peace out, Cub Scouts. Let's hit this